Judy here from Thistledew Creations. Thanks for tuning back in, spending some time with me. Yesterday I had a couple of hours, low energy time. Everyone else was napping after our Easter feast. And I decided to try something that I've seen several times on Pinterest and even on Facebook where people were sharing. And that is to die cut, or in my case, punch out some butterflies and make little fluttering butterflies. So you got 3 sets of wings. I decided to do mine in 3 different papers. So I've got the bottom layer is paper bag. In this one, the center paper is book page. And then the top page is the tie-dye 6x6 papers from the Dollarama. And so I did that one. I did one with silver on top, book page and paper bag. And the silver is from the inside of an envelope, like with a special greeting card. Sometimes you see it, where there's a band of silver where you can see, just where you can see. And so I've saved that and used it, die cut it. Makes a good little, again, not quite as thick as cardstock, but pretty thick, durable paper. And then I've punched a bunch with paper bag. I found them actually kind of difficult to punch out of the paper bag. I don't know if it's because the paper's kind of soft, doesn't have a lot of body to it, or maybe my punch was just a little bit dull. Maybe it dulls them, I don't know. I did one with, what's this one? No, that's more book page. Just a bit more of a pastel section of the tie-dye paper. And another tie-dye one. More book page. So I just used the same punch. And I'm going to do a couple for you, just so you can see. It's simple. I did it laying down in my hammock. It wasn't the most comfortable thing to do laying down, but I did because I was tired. And this one has some music paper in the center instead of book page. And then this one was some cardstock that I had that was just a really pretty periwinkle mauve and music paper. And I like the idea of the paper bag at the back and the more colorful layer on top. So I have some more silvers and I have some more colorful ones. So actually I don't really need to punch any, but I'm going to punch a few just to show you. Got some book page. And I do have a few music ones too. And I thought I'd just punch a couple of map page ones, if this punch will work. I was having trouble, but again, I was laying down, so I wasn't getting my weight behind it, so to speak. So just give it a good press. Oh, that one's coming out good. And I was being a little careful about not wasting paper. And you can do that too by looking at the back, making sure you're not going over where you've already cut. This paper seems like it's going to cut a little easier, but this is what it was doing to me last night. It was leaving little tabs uncut. I was able to tear it out. I probably could have even done a better job with my little mini scissors, but I didn't. You can see some of these especially have like torn spots on them. Crisp would be better. I think getting crisp edges is pressing it from the top works the best for that, and I just wasn't doing that yesterday. This is a vintage map of the area where I live. I did it again. And I will save this where the tape was holding the book together. I don't have my ripple scissors over here, so I'm going to tear it with my tear ruler, just a little bit away from the tape. Oh, that's giving me a little spot there. A little bit on the fragile side, and I probably should have put my ruler down the other way. So you see how kind of awkward that is to tear? If you do it this way. Oh, no. If you do it this way, put the ruler down over the narrow thing and hold on to the wider part, it's much easier to tear. And then I'll save that because that's special with the yellowed edge from where the tape used to be. I'll put it back in my map drawer, but I want to make sure I save that. And this butterfly punch gives you really weird looking confetti. Which I suppose I should be saving, but I've stopped saving confetti. So I'm going to punch one more and then we'll make a couple of little flutterbies. So I just use tacky glue to do it. I suppose you could probably use, well, a needle dispenser would probably be ideal. I don't have one that's fresh right now. My the one that I do have had 3-in-1 glue in it, and it's probably pretty goopy. So what I did was I took my back layer and I just put a few drops down the center, and then I took my second layer, which in this case I'll do the map. And I just folded the wings in, unfold it, and then fold the other wing in. And that gives it just enough to stand up a bit. And then you can go and put, oh, I already put the 3 drops on there. That's all right. I'll grab another one here. That one's way less than perfect, so let's not use it. I'll put this, line them up. You can kind of line up the heads on this one and just make sure that the wings are kind of on the right angle. Might have to go back and trim this bottom one a little bit. And then the third one, in this case, let's do the silver. No, actually, let's do this tie-dye one. It has the same colors in it as the map. In fact, it might make a better top, a middle than a top, actually. Let's do that. Let's put one here in the middle. I make this up as I go along, you know. That needs a trimming, but I can do that. My little tiny scissors are close enough. I'll grab them. Yep, there they are. I just rearranged things, so. Here's where I thought I needed a little snip. Like I say, not 100% perfect, but you get the idea. And then I'm going to use map on the top layer of this one with the tie-dye. So you can either put it on the back of the top one or on the top of the middle one. And you can use a tool like this to press it down a little bit. And just sort of make sure that your wings separate from each other so that they'll stand up. Now, if you sent these in Happy Mail, then the person would have to fluff them up themselves, obviously, because they'll flatten out. But if they know what they have, they'll know that they should do that. So this one, I'm going to put the tie-dye on top. So let me find another one that's those same colors. The green and peach. Same colors that are in the map. And I've found it's easier to put it on the back of the one that's on top. Just because my glue bottle is wide at the tip, so it would go back down in between the, I want to say leaves, the wings very well. And then I just taken the tip of this and making sure that these bottom wings are lined up right. And then I see something down here that I want to trim off. So obviously if you have perfect die cuts, it's going to be a more perfect butterfly, but I'm not terribly worried about the bottom layer being perfect. It's just kind of in the background. Let's do one with the tie-dye in the middle. See, now that one didn't do very well and I had to tear it. Here's one that is pretty good. So bend that over, open it out, and bend the other one over. Just a couple little drops. And then we'll put the silver on top of that. So this is the kind of thing that I think I'm going to mass make to send in happy mails. It might not all be butterflies. We'll probably do some dragonflies too. And other shapes, like maybe snowflakes at Christmas time. Pumpkins even. Maybe. But what fun. And pretty easy. You can punch in front of the TV. You might not want to glue in front of the TV depending on what you're watching, but you can do a lot of this just in front of the TV in your idle time. Now this paper bag had some red writing on it, so I actually might leave that one. I'm going to try one with that as the top layer. So what would I put with it? Book page. I don't really want to use the silver on the bottom, but it's nice and durable. I'll do book page, and then I've got some red. It's tie-dye, but it's mostly red, just from where it was clipped out of. So I'll put the red on the, actually I'll put the red on the bottom, sorry. I always think I want to cover up the writing on the bags, but that kind of has a neat vibe to it. So does this one. So let's give it a chance to be front and center. And that's less than perfect too. That little wing is clipped. But I like it. And then let's do another one like that. This red. Oh, here's one that's got more red. Red with a touch of purple. So let's do this periwinkle purple. That one's kind of broken. Found it tricky to do as well. And then I'll put the tie-dye in the middle. And the paper bag on top. I think this was, I don't know what it was, which kind of bag it was. Might have been like McDonald's or Tim Hortons or something. So something that I've seen many times and never done, and I just thought I would share it with you. And as I do new shapes, I'll do another video and it'll have its own playlist. I don't know what I'll call them. If I find a name for them online, I will label it thus. Can you tell I just did the Outlander flip through? And then what I did when I was done cutting out butterflies was I took the rest of the little scraps of paper and I cut out hearts. So I've got some silver hearts, some tie-dye hearts. I don't think I have many book page hearts. I don't know why I didn't do book page ones, but got some of those little periwinkle purple. So I think I'm going to grab a divided plastic container and start up some sections with the different shapes so that I can punch them one night, glue them up another night. I think that's probably how I'll do it. So thanks for fluttering by and seeing this little craft. It's not groundbreaking or revolutionary, but it's awfully cute, pretty, and I enjoy it a lot. And I love finding ways to use those little scraps of paper that people would normally throw away, especially the silver ones, because they're gorgeous. So thanks very much for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, but most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.